More and more young adults are dropping out of church. According to a recent study, 66% have stopped attending.
Good morning. We are following breaking news from overnight chaos on campus. Hundreds spilling into the streets near Ohio State.
Leading cause of death for children ages 10 or 10-year-olds up to 14.
Researchers found moderate to severe anxiety increased 40% after the coronavirus pandemic began than before, and moderate to severe depression increased 48%.
Just after 5 p.m. here on the East Coast, we're on the air with a special report as Charlie Kirk, the conservative activist, has died after being shot during an event at Utah Valley University.
A CDC survey found that in 2021, almost 60% of high school girls experienced persistent feelings of sadness or hopelessness during the past year, and nearly 25%, this number, man, nearly 25% made a suicide plan. Between 2011 and 2021, the number of teens and young adults with clinical depression, it more than doubled. Between 2007 and 2019, the suicide rate for those in their early 20s rose by 41%, and the suicide rate for 10 to 14-year-olds, think about how young that is, it tripled.
The enemy presses hard after young people. He presses hard after our kids. And if we come at them with fluff, when crisis hits, the fluff isn't going to satisfy. Teenagers, I have found that most of them are really wrestling with hard questions and deep questions, and they see injustice, and they see abuse, and they see the evil of a fallen world being thrust in their face all the time, whether it's through classmates at school or whether through it's stuff on their phone. And high schoolers are often asking, how practical is the Bible for this? How relevant is the Bible for this? And if you come at high school students and junior high students with fluff in your youth ministry, when crisis hits and everything falls apart in their lives, they're going to say, this is empty, this is hollow, this has no answers, and they're going to turn from what they think is the church. And that's why we see so many, sadly, people who say they tried Jesus and now they're deconstructing. And that's tragedy. That is the result of fluffy, weak sauce youth ministry. You need to treat them not necessarily as like full-fledged adults like you would to somebody who's been married 20 years, but they are adults in the sense that they're old enough to turn from their sins. They're old enough to repent. They're old enough to die and go to hell. That's one thing I remind myself often, is that these kids are old enough to die in their sins. You know, junior hires and high schoolers, whatever the age of accountability is, they're past it, and they need to respond while there's still time.
During camp, many other sermons talk about Christ's redeeming love, and the loveliness of Christ overcame my heart. There at camp, God showed me that my works were futile, and only He could save me. I knew I was a sinner, but now I knew that Christ's love is greater than my sin.
The Lord opened my eyes and made me realize that He is my shepherd and I am His sheep. And as a shepherd takes care of his sheep, he protects and cares for each and every one of his children, guarding them from the temptations of this world.